Welcome to the Ultimate Fancast, where fans are the star of the show. Each week, we explore the epic co-created Battle Bunnies franchise from legendary artists Frank and Christa LaNatra and the team at Junkbox Studios. Ultimate fans join BBS, Lord L, and Brian as they dive deep into the extraordinary world of the Battle Bunnies. Plus, we'll be your guides and take you backstage with the creators and actors who are captivating family audiences worldwide. Are you ready to meet this week's Ultimate Fan? It's time to fan up and enjoy the show. Woo! All right, yes, the pilot episode, right?
Seriously, it's been a much anticipated pilot, that's for sure. Yeah. Trying to get it all into one place, Web3, all different time zones. It's definitely been fun, but we're here, and we're gonna kill it, and especially with the shrine in the background you got there, Brian.
Oh. Yeah, exactly.
I feel bad that I've got like some of my Battle Bunnies art just here next to me.
And I got a book.
I saw the mug before we started recording. You got the mug. You're like, what's on the other side? Are you a Viking or are you a pirate?
So it says this, right?
World's best Viking.
But I'm a pirate at heart. So
you're a pirate at heart. Well, that's
yeah.
Then
So
you
I
need
ordered
that
that
mug on the end. You need the one that has the Viking crossed out.
I'm gonna work on that.
Yeah,
we'll get that. Calling you a traitor.
I still love it though.
Have either one of you got the custom mug yet of one of your dragons? Or
no.
Oh man, that was the coolest. Like, I like my Viking mug, and I like my my other like pirate mug. I'm both my kids. They just joined the Discord server over the last 24 hours, and both of them declared as Vikings. So like, or like 2 of my 5. So I still have a few more to find out if we got any shamans or sorcerers or any of the other factions. But
out of respect, I didn't fly the pirate flag when I heard that, because I usually do that. Like, I picked the Viking, and I do the pirate GIF, and then Frank comes on and says, "Stop that."
You gotta.
We all do the same thing in Discord, where we're like, when we see someone choose the Viking or the pirate, we're like we try and convert them, but we know we're not going to, because everyone's taken their process, their quest into the Discord. They take their quest into the Battle Bunnies family. They ain't going to change, but you just hope that they do. Well, that's me anyways. I'm always like, come to the shamans. Like, we're always keen. Like, we're always ready for new people. So, but at the end of the day, we're all in the same place. So it's
yeah, like my kids, because they just went through this, and when I say kids, my oldest is 22, and the middle son is 18. So I mean, these aren't kids. Like, these are young adults, and they were like, I don't know. Like, I was like, take the quiz. So they took the quiz, and I already knew they both were going to come out Vikings. Like, it just, based on what the quiz was, I was like, oh, I bet they come out Vikings. But I still have 3 other kids, and I think there's definitely one that could be either a sorcerer or a Valkyrie, or a shaman. So I'm not sure. But my daughter, she's going to be she's not going to be a Viking. There's just no way. Like, there's just no way she declares as a Viking. So
yeah, you're trying to be the ultimate hero. Is that what it is? You're trying to get all the classes in the family, and then and then you spring that on them and say, "Well, I'm the ultimate hero." So
yeah, I'm the ultimate hero, Dad.
I think you're under something. Actually, you shouldn't have said that to Brian. He's completionist. Man.
I was like, oh man,
damn, I got it.
Now I got to figure out how to convert my Viking kids over. Like, I need a sorcerer. How do I do that? No,
I honestly really now want to get my 10 and 12-year-old to do it and see where they would end up and see what they think. And I promise I'm not going to, itch them to the shamans. But I really want to see what they would be, because, this is about them too. At the end of the day, they love the art. They love everything that I do, like, behind the scenes here. And, they've been a part of the dream for me as well. So it'd be cool to actually get them involved more too, and see where they play out in this. It'd be interesting.
I think they're going to get really involved once the game comes out, like the TCG in October. That's going to be like key. Like that's going to open up, like, because they're still confused about the NFT things. They know what NFTs are. But they're just not into digital collectibles. It's like, you've been doing digital collectibles for over a decade, like almost 2 decades. Like, you have V-Bucks inside of Fortnite. Like, that is an NFT. Like, you paid for something that isn't money, but you used it as money so you could do something inside of Minecraft or inside of, Fortnite, or, World of Warcraft, or any of the, like, the online game stuff, like Call of Duty, like all those, like they always were
they're
asking.
stuck in those games. You can't take it with you. With this, you can take it everywhere with you. Like, it's with you.
Yeah, and you can transfer it to other people. Like, I mean, like, you bought, like, the coolest weapon ever. Well, you're done playing with it, I can transfer it to Lord L, and and if he doesn't want to play with it, he can send it to you, BBS. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
and he should. He definitely should.
He should definitely send those things over.
For the people listening now that don't even know, we basically just onboarded you right there. Like, it's hearing exactly that too, because I never even thought about it in that way. And my son's on Fortnite all the time. My daughter's on Roblox, and they've always asked me what NFTs are, and when you try to explain to them, they just don't get it. But when if you say it just like that, man, that really opens even my eyes listening now. Like, wow, we've all been doing NFTs before we even knew, and and for years and years. So it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, and we should probably tell our viewers, because we haven't actually introduced the fact that you don't live in the States, so you're using Aussie dollars, and we're talking about USD, and it doesn't matter because we all converted into a universal currency that we can all use. We don't have to like, we can talk about ETH, or we talk about Matic, or the other types of currencies, but at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter what you put your dollars in from. It just matters that now you have something that you can transfer back and forth, and you don't have to convert it or exchange it to to USD, or to, is it AUD? Is that how you guys call it over in Australia, or down in Australia? The world down under.
Well, we're in the future here, mate. So
yeah, you are.
It's instant. Future. Well, I mean, as instant as this services can be, right? Because sometimes there's a little bit of a lag.
There can be, especially with gas. Like, I mean, that's not the best. But it's better. Like, I'm gonna do a transaction once we get off here. Like, I had to wait for the gas prices, because when I was talking earlier with the person, it was gas prices were twice or 3 times as much as they are right now. So now's the perfect time for me to go in and, like, do the
night's the best.
Yeah, so it just makes it easier.
Or night, depending on what time zone you're in.
yeah, or early.
I wonder if it's the same. Is the same for you, Lord L?
What is that? What's the same? Sorry.
Is it better at night for your nighttime, or is it? Do you find it's better?
I think the gas. So when the GUI's up or when the GUI's down, it's down universal. Like you said, Brian, it's not a currency thing. It's not a separate platform. It's the one place that we all go to, that we all check. So it doesn't matter the time. If it was like that, it'd be awesome. I'd send you the ETH, and then we could do something like that. But even still now, when people talk about ETH and prices high, and it's not the same for me, because I don't know if you remember 2 years ago when ETH was more than the NFT itself. I remember minting my first NFT, was $200, and gas was $200. So it was like a $400 mint way back when, and we never seemed to care then. And then now, when it gets up past $4, we're like, whoa, it's $4.
Whoa. So, what are you trying to do to me?
We've definitely come leaps and bounds to where we started. So, but it's made it a lot easier to get NFTs now. That's for sure.
Yeah. And then you go to Poly, where it's like 2 cents. Like, it's like, oh man, I had to pay a penny. Like, it should have been basically free. Yeah. So yeah, that's the tough thing. I mean, people that just like, I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about that, how it's just so early. It's just so early right now with like the apps and NFTs and stuff like that, like we're still like, I think it was Mark Cuban that was talking to the guys on Smartless. He was talking about that, and he was just saying that it's like there's just so many different things. Like it was back in the early app days for the internet. There were so many, and they just have to wash out. Like we'll get down to where it's like, cheap to do exchanges, and people, there'll be just a few big players, and all that stuff. I mean, he's not giving us advice, and we're not either. We're just kind of speculating.
Yeah, don't take any advice from us.
Yeah, no financial advice from the three of us.
But you will find some nuggets of truth, though.
Yeah, lots of truth, but yeah, no,
it's hard to put a cap on how it's going to be when the space is forever moving too. So, we're evolving. When you see the contract stuff that the Food Fight Studios does, and what Frank and Christa even just do on their back ends, like everything is changing daily in this space. So it's hard to set a normality thing for it, because like, where are we going to be every single day? It's a new thing. And we're just constantly changing, and trying to keep up with it is the fun thing. Like we're all in the same boat, where we're trying to keep up with what's going on, because every day something new comes. And so it's definitely going to be interesting to see where we're going to be in Web3 alone in a couple of years, let alone to where the bunnies are going to be.
Yeah, you bring up a great point, because I think, like part of the reason why I'm here, and I'm sure I don't want to speak for either of you, but like part of the reason I'm here is because it has changed so much in this space. But, Frank and Christa are always there. And although it's changing, it feels like they're just kind of moving with where it needs to go, and giving us that information that we need to keep us, safe from the scammers, to keep us educated in what they're doing. Like there's never a mystery. Like I'm in other projects where they mint out, and then you don't hear from them for a month. They're on vacation, like, so where'd they go? Like where are all these promises? There's no promises. There's nothing. Like, so, but like, it's not that way here. With the bunnies, and that's one of the things I like.
Yeah, well, when you say, the space is always changing, and, Frank and Chris are adapting, I honestly think they're the ones changing the space.
They're innovating, yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's a little bit of both, I think. Yeah.
Exactly. Let's try this with this utility, like with this upcoming mint, like with these eggs. I can't wait to see all the different skins that we can add to a single NFT. Like it's not just going to be a static picture. We're going to have like swipe files, like where we can swipe to get different things. Like, oh, I want I want to see the Christmas background for this thing, or the Halloween background. Like, and it's not something that like, there's going to be one way to get it. There's going to be multiple ways. Like we might be able to earn it in the rabbit hole playing a game, or we might be able to exchange, some cider that we earned doing some other activities to buy the things, like they're going to put some stuff together that's going to make it fun and interesting. And that's like you said, Bill, like it's like it's they're constantly like doing things on the leading edge of like what this place should, or what it should be or could be. And that's what I love about it, is because like you don't see that in these other projects, like not yet. Like they like look and see what Frank and Christa do, and they're like, hey, let's try that. Like let's, or at least it seems like that, that they're, maybe just 6 months behind Frank and Christa.
Exactly. Like aging the dragons, like taking them through an evolution, however you want to say it. Like, how sick is that? How many other places have we been into where we send them down a portal, or we evolve them and we lose that art forever? And, Frank and Chris's art is something that you never want to get rid of. You want to be able to see it, and like you want to flick to the left, but it's like, if I get a baby dragon out of my egg, am I even going to age it? But then it's like, I don't know, because I really want to see what's going to come next. But then I don't want to have it not being aged. So it's like, it's a blessing and a curse. And I think, bringing the skins in, holiday skins, Christmas, Easter, the kids are going to love that. I know for a fact my kids are going to love it. It's going to be just like their normal world that they're used to. And then, NFTs aren't going to feel as daunting. And, when you tell someone it's a non-fungible token stored on the blockchain, you're instantly like, oh, okay. Like it's in you.
The radar goes off. The radar's like, stop. And I feel like I'm the noob because like I've only like I didn't discover the Battle Bunnies until May. And I didn't discover the Battle Bunnies through the NFT project. It was through one of the founders, John, who gave me a book at VCon. And he's like, and I gave him one of my hats. And he, like, we just kind of exchanged some of our stuff. And I took his book home and I started reading it. And I was like, this is really cool. And I was like, there's this story. And he's like, yeah, there's NFTs that are based on those characters. And those NFTs, those characters, those are people inside of our community. And he's like, they named their character in the book that's also an NFT in the digital space. I was like, whoa, like that is really, really, really cool. I was like, nobody's doing stuff like that. Like nobody is co-creating and publishing books, that are going to live on, maybe sometime even beyond the community members' involvement and stuff. Like they're it's not going to be something you trade. You're not going to want to trade it because you're in a book. Like you're gonna be like, this is my NFT forever because I am CO Frost. I'm Commander Frost. I lead the Spartans. Like he's never going away because he's in the book. He's also in an NFT. Like, that is
it's crazy to see from my standpoint too, because I've been here since day one, from legit day one, and like the book was in talking, and stuff was in talking, but like it wasn't really a thing, and having the series one. And then you name your bunnies. Then you've got to write a backstory for the book, and then all of a sudden there's a book. So we literally read it through us, our community, and then someone stepped up in the community and wanted to do the TCG, and now like it all coincides with the one law. It all coincides with the one story, and that's the other amazing thing about it. It isn't just a bunch of verbal going into one spot. It's like it's actually got a law. It's done by proper authors. It's written absolutely amazing, and then we've just kept on keeping with that theme. And then we're building this whole franchise as we go together, and that's special on its own. And like there's so much room for more people to come involved. That's the best thing. Like in a lot of these spaces where it's like it's limited to an X amount of people, it's over. That's all you've got. Well, Frank and Christa being so loving, this is a dream that they've dreamt of their whole lives. Like, when we get to get them on stage up here, I would definitely want to hear their story because I know I've heard it personally and it's really amazing. Like it's a fairy tale story, how they met and how they became, the bunnies. And so it's like for us to be able to build and grow and still have room for, people listening right now, if they don't even have an NFT, don't even know what it is, or they know what the bunnies are, like, you can literally get a bunny and name it and be a part of this history, be a part of the franchise.
Quickly, yeah.
And like how many places we know that are doing that? Like, and that's what I mean by the innovation. But we're all innovating with each other because Frank and Christa, they're like you said, they're on the leading edge. They're always innovating, they're always adapting, but they're adapting to what we want as the community. They're adapting to what we want as holders, what we deserve as collectors, as holders, as always trying to bring value. So it's, we're all a part of it, whether we like it or not, and whether we even know it or not, because on the back end, like now that I'm on the back end, I've only been on the back end for, like a month now. Like, I've been here 19 months just I'm still the same old Lord L, it's good, but it's like seeing the stuff that they do on the back end now, for the people on the outside looking in to see what they do then is crazy, and see what I get to see, it's absolutely amazing. Like they're 1,000 steps in front of where they want to be on the back end, or they're 10,000 steps in front of what they're even telling us staff. So it's exciting for me every single day to wake up to see this stuff, just as much as it is for the people that aren't on the back end, because they still have that level of secrecy, like not secrecy, I don't want to say it like that, it sounds dirty, but it's like that level of surprise waiting, because we're really, they captivated me. Like they honestly captivated me from the start. I was here for I came from a recommendation, and then I seen Frank's first art, and found out that Christa was an artist too, which I put my foot in there a bit there.
I think we've heard that a little bit. Yeah. That uncomfortableness.
You're gonna have to tell that story sometime down the road.
I definitely will.
We're not gonna let that go.
Not on the
phone.
And like to see what they do is absolutely amazing. And and then to add to the lovingness and the heart that they have, like we don't invest in projects these days in this space. We invest in the founders. We invest in the staff. We invest in the long term of it, because it isn't a pump and dump like we use it to be. It isn't like when I first joined it. Like I said, my name's Lord L. Like I thought it was some glip glop weird fairy tale land where it wasn't. I got my name off a game that I was playing called Dragon Mania. Ironic, right? And then my name was Lord L, and I played it with the kids when they were like 5, and I was like the Lord of these dragons. So I was like, I'll put it in Discord, and before you know it, like I've taken on that role. Like I'm Lord L now. Like it is like it's hard to explain the love, the community. Like it's not even a community. It's like we're family. Majority of it. And I guarantee anyone jumps in right now and says something in chat, there will be a brigade of us welcoming them, like legit. And I'm sure
we had that recently, a couple of days ago, maybe it was yesterday. Someone came in and we just peppered them with gifs to the point where they were just like, I have to leave, I can't be here. They, the marketer or whatever, pitching their services, and good on you for doing stuff for yourself and your whatever you're living, but just to jump in and say, hey, I can help you liven up your chat when there's 50 people talking at the same time.
Yeah,
and I think ridiculous, right?
But it just goes to show, like Frank and Christa have made this their lifestyle. So this is their life now, and they're in there day in day out in Discord for us. There won't be a moment. I think we have one rest day a week, and even then I'll still be on the back end. I'll message Christa and she'll be like, dude, I'm on day off. But she won't be able to help herself. She'll still do whatever like I asked or whatever we spoke about. But it's like that dedication is what I look for now when I go to other communities, and it is really hard. Not saying there isn't any out there, because there is a lot of other amazing communities like the ones all in our round table. We have a lot of people that we can rely on and trust, and that's what it is. We aren't projects anymore. We're not relying on the project to revenue us money, or we're looking at the big picture, and where we're going to be in 5 and 6 years, and that all comes down to, I guess, the jeopardy of the person. Like if the founder, you can just tell they're in there day in day out, and like we're talking like 2 years now, and Frank doesn't even really work anymore because, well, he does work. It's Battle Bunnies and Battle Bunnies only. Like, so it's just that speaking volumes alone. Like, and if you haven't already noticed, we love the bunnies here, obviously.
We're huge fans, right? Like, I go from not knowing anything. Like, I remember my first day in the Discord. Like, John's one of the founders, and he sends me the link to get into the Discord, and I don't use Discord all that much. Like I'm in some writer and creator type communities for Discord, but it's not like people are not in there. It is not a family. I jump in there and they're like, welcome to the Fluffle. And I was like, what's a Fluffle? Like, I'd never heard that word before. And now I use it all the time. Like we actually have a bunny. Like we actually have my daughter has a bunny. So, and her name's Piper, and she hangs out behind the bar here at the house, in the basement. And, so she's like a bunny. So I saw, like, after they introduced that word to me, the Fluffle, which means family, like it's a small group of bunnies. I'd go out to get food for her at the store, and they have Fluffle Delight. And Fluffle Delight was more expensive than like this generic brand, no named, like food for the bunny. And I was like, marketing, Fluffle. That's the family thing that I'm in. I was like, I'm buying the Fluffle stuff. So yeah, she gets Fluffle Delight. And then my wife tells me after I buy it, she's like, she doesn't need all that sugar. The Fluffle Delight has all the goodies in it and stuff like that. I was like, that's just like the community. The community here has all the goodies and the fun stuff. And, so yeah, I get introduced to the Fluffle, and it's just been a whirlwind since. Like, I've jumped in both feet. Like, you can see, obviously I got a few of my digital, just like you. I've turned some of my digital stuff into canvases. I have a canvas coming. That's the Samurai General. So I'm excited when that shows up. It'll probably come around Richmond, the tattoo convention, coming up in October. So, but yeah, it's like just so much, like they give so much, like that mug, like I was talking about earlier, like the Kamara mug, of my dragon. She's also the dragon that's, I can't see on my wall. What is she? She's the third one up above the dark matter. They turned, like, I won a raffle. Christa created a mug and put that on the mug, and now I can have coffee with Kamara, but she's a collectible, so she stays on the shelf, and I use my other mugs.
I'm drinking from mine because it's a,
yeah, because it's Viking and you're a pirate. Yeah.
It makes sense. I can't believe you even promoted that BBS, but it's all good. I'm a shaman. What you are.
You got to get a shaman mug. I think they have those out now, right?
I like the shaman stuff too. Yeah.
I think maybe next week or next video we should definitely put shaman next to our name, or what class we are at least, so that way everyone knows. Because I'm sure everyone that jumps up on stage is going to be in a class. If not, we'll be initiating them into one by the end of the show for sure.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
We could probably spend a show on each of the factions, like the 5 different lands and stuff like that, or bring people on specifically from like shamans to, like, that's how we could bring on guests. Like, and that's what we haven't explained here so far, is like kind of what is our ultimate theme for this. And like, we're going to bring on guests. This is a fan cast. This is not us 3 chuckleheads getting on here talking about how much we love. It's about bringing on. We will.
We're going to do that too, though. So.
Yeah, but it'll be us bringing on the fans, bringing on the creators, bringing on, just the people that love this as much as we do, from all walks of life. Like, that's the thing it's so exciting. It's it's not just artists, it's not just creators, it's not just fill in the blank. It's people from all over that love this stuff. So
authentic voices that you'll get to know and love, just like we do.
That's why I ultimately jump up and do this stuff, because if people can feel even half what I feel about it, man, I think I'm already a success. Because the way that the Battle Bunnies has changed, like, a lot of our lives. Like, we jump in here, we're literally all, like you said, we're all walks of life, all races, all countries, all different everything, but yet we're all start off behind a PFP of an NFT, of one of the Battle Bunnies or another NFT, and no one judges anyone by how old they are, what they look like, or who they are. The Fluffle is the Fluffle, and I think that's what speaks through as well. And like, I know, like, when I get up in the morning, one of the first things I do, which is, probably shouldn't do it every single time, I check the Discord. I'll chuck a
guilty.
I check the listings. The completionist checks the listings.
I'll check a quick GN or GM, and then I'll be like, I'll quickly check the staff chats. I'll check the voice chats, see where everyone's at. If no one's there, then I'll go to my day. And then I still don't take away from my life still, but that's why I've come to terms with it. It's not a Web3 life. It is just our life. Like, this is
everything. Yeah.
Exactly. They're not my Web3 friends. They're my friends. They're not my Web3 friends. They're just my family. And it literally took me probably even 16 months to even think of it like that. But that's just how it is. Because, when I'm telling myself that, we have these days where we want to get off technology and this and that, it's hard when, we have created such a connection with some people that, like, in this space. And it's we've built, we've grown, we've cried, we've laughed, we've done everything together. And as corny as it sounds, like I might be small, but I'm like roughest, toughest exterior. But you know, when I jump into the Battle Bunnies, I'm like, oh, the fluffle, you know, like I'm instantly, you know, like you guys are my friends.
Yeah, what can I do to help? Like, how can we all grow together fast?
Like, exactly. When Brian said he hasn't been here in that long, but you know, he will come in with open arms straight away, and then you know, he asked me to jump up into this. He'd love me up to come jump in this space, and I was like, man, I would be honored to, just with you alone, and then to know how much you love what I love, like it just made it even better. So it's like, you know,
absolutely,
yeah. I mean, and you bring up a good point, or I don't know if you meant to do this on purpose, but you said when you woke up, you come in and you said GN. That's good night, right? Like, because you know that when you're waking up, we're going to bed here, like in the North Americas. But that's what I love about this is like, this is a global community. Like, I kid you not, I have a card in here that traveled from Estonia. Like this card in my collection came from Estonia. I got it. It took 3 weeks to get here, but I purchased an NFT. You got one from Estonia?
Yeah. Well, I probably got it from the same person. So.
Did you buy from Pleb?
Yeah, he has a lot of. Yeah, he has a lot. So. Okay.
So yeah, I bought from Pleb, and he sold the card with it. So and what we're talking about is our Spartan collection. There's only 300 of them, and they made these killer cards to go along with the Spartans. So if you were one of the original mentors, people that minted the Spartans, and you were still holding it at the time when they did the cards, you could get your cards sent out to you. That's actually how I came in to the first thing that I bought. After I got into the Discord, was reading the book, I was like, well, I need to buy something. So I went to the merch because I'm thinking like a commercial consumer. So I was like, I'm going to go buy something from their web store. So I get on the web store and I see these cool cards, and I didn't realize these cards were attached to NFTs. So these were the cards that people that had the NFTs didn't claim. So I'm on there buying like cards because my brother is a card collector. He does lots of sports, collectibles. So I was like, ooh, I'll get some cards of these, of this book that I'm reading because they look really cool. And only to discover that they're attached to the NFT, the Spartan collection. And now I've made trades to get the digital, and then somebody's sending me the card. So it's like all coming full circle and stuff like that. And it's coming from all across the globe, which is crazy. And that's the thing is like, Pleb could have held on to that card as a collectible. He could have been like, no, they're separate transactions, but he was cool. And he's like, I'm going to send you the card to go along with, because they just belong. They're a pair.
And that's the community. And that's like the Spartans are our Genesis one. So it's our first ever drop from the Bunnies. That was what started it all. And like Food Fight Studios helped, obviously massive part of that, and releasing that as our Genesis collection. And when we did too, like, I don't know if everyone remembers way back when, but that's when the bear market started to come in, and we minted these at 0.2, and back then that was a pretty hefty price. ETH was high at that point too, like it was just before it dipped, so it's we sold out in like 2 days of the Spartan. So back then we knew what was going to happen and where we were going to be. Like we had the backing, we had the support, we had investors from all over the place just snapping these up. And then how much is it to get one now? 0.2 mint, and you'll be lucky to get one at 0.7.
I paid 0.7 for that one that came from Estonia. yeah, and I mean obviously ETH has changed pricing, but it still was more than double what the minting price on that was. Like more than double.
Real stackers and crypto holders, we still always do our math on the points. It won't be to the money. Well, me personally, I never do it on a money value, because I always do it of a 0.2. I bought it for 0.2, so I'm not selling it for less than 0.2. Even if the ETH changes and now the 0.2 is like, because back then 0.2 was like $6 or something like that, and now 0.2 is 300. But still, I'm not selling one ever under 0.2, because ETH's going to come back, and that's non-financial. But that's a crypto collector. That's a crypto stacker. Nice. That's how I do it. And that's at a loss to me. So if I'm minted at the 0.02 like the Hooligans, I don't care if it's gone up since then. It's 0.2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never dropping it on the floor under that because us as the community hold the price. And me personally, I know that they're worth way more than that. And it's not even to be where I'm not talking about where it's gonna be worth. I'm talking about what they're worth right now. I know in 2 years' time they're gonna be quadruple that. And we've all paid like right now.
So like
all three of us have spent a lot of money on one of these things because they're just amazing. We love them.
Don't tell my wife. Don't tell my wife. I'm sure she's gonna watch.
Yes, I was on the outside looking in. Like I saw these cards. Like I saw a photo with these cards on like a table, and they were showing them. And then a few of my friends jumped in, and I was in another project where they had really good art. And maybe later I can tell you the exact project. I don't want to call them out, but they had really good art, and they had like a year roadmap, and everybody was involved in it. And then a few of my friends jumped over to the Bunnies and saw how they were running things, and they were really excited, and they couldn't stop telling me about it. But I was stuck in a different chain, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I was stuck in the crypto.com NFT chain, if I can say that. And
it's like a Samsung iPhone dilemma, but yeah, keep going.
Right. So it's like, do I make the switch? It's scary, like you go from one thing to another. If anything, it's like, oh, all right, let me take that leap. But so Aaron and Disco both were like very vocal in this one Discord saying, hey, why can't we have all these bells and whistles that we have in another project, because they're treating us so well and we're seeing like everything, and this is not happening here. So eventually I get over to the Discord and I see that there's an October Ghost Bunny mint. So I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm gonna wait for the mint. I get in there. It's for holders only. And I'm like, So I immediately go to secondary and I look, and everything's because at this point, like in another chain, it's a little bit less than this chain, right? So you're like, oh, all right. And then I don't know how it happened, but after that, a couple of months later, there was 2 bunnies for like $28 a piece. And I was like, yeah, I could pinch me, right? I got to get both of them. So I got both of them. They're worth way more than that, as you both know. And then that was like my first step into the bunnies, right? And oh my God, it was just like, it's just little by little. Like, it's not like get overwhelmed and, this thing. It's more of like a gradual process where you're just like, let me just take a minute and learn this. And if I have a question, I'll ask this. And everything was just answered even before I even asked it. I felt like, it's just like, yeah, this is what it is. And then everybody's just so welcoming. And then just like each thing that happens from there is amazing. And then they did the Scyther games. Remember the Scyther games?
Mm-hmm.
Which they're going to have a round 2 of that, which is going to be, amazing. They just find things to engage you with, and keep things like light and fresh. Like right now there's, bots in the Discord, which is, crazy, right? I mean, just like it's just fun, like the interactions you have. And their website, it brought to my attention, like, hey, we checked the website out. And I checked it out, and it's like brand new, and it's got all of this content on it that is just like, it has the TCG stuff on there. It has the novel. It has the store with the cards, Brian, that you were picking out. So you're like, literally, like if you had that different mindset of, let me go check out the store. I mean, that's an interesting pathway into, like an inbound marketing, if you will.
Yeah. It's like, speaking of roadmaps, right? Is like we don't even really have a roadmap over the bunnies anymore, because the roadmap is blown out of proportion from day one, and it's more of we've got it now on our Twitter as our timeline. It's our pinned tweet at the very top, and it's what we've done and what we've had and what we've accomplished over the time. And even that still doesn't, I don't feel, covers everything that has happened. It's like you said, the Scyther games, the holders only mints. It's constantly giving back, constantly always doing something. So it's like, to limit the roadmap, it'll just be a waste of of graphic designing time, because it's just going to be done tomorrow anyway, and then there's going to be another one. So it's just more of add it to the timeline and then keep going. And I've got the Dark Scyther games coming up, and that's where it's going to be where we do get the Scyther to upgrade our drag. Like again, it's going to be can be a totally free thing. Like it's not something that is token gated by having to buy something. Well, you obviously have to have a dragon to be able to upgrade it, but you can still collect the Scyther. And it's like having those little things coming, and always there's something around the corner that we're all someone's excited about. You know, if we're not so into a novel, there's the TCG game. If we're not massive on the TCG game, there's killer art. If there's not killer art, there's like the game's nice. Like with our round table, like with Aaron creating his own project now. Like we're always something going on, and there's always something coming. And then, you know, we're always, Frank and Chris are always keen to give more. You know, someone else is doing something sweet as, let's give away this, let's do that. And, you know, the holy grail to me is, you know, getting something hand painted by them in IRL. And it's like, I haven't got one yet, but I'm going to. But essentially, that's
we all want one, yeah.
Yeah, like hand drawn. You know, like no offense to those that are the great
generative AI,
really manipulate AI and do the prompts, and because that's a whole different artistry right there. Like no offense to them, but you know what Frank and Chris are doing are hand drawn, and just like we have a time lapse video which maybe we'll pin down somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, we can pin.
You know, we'll pin it up, pin it down. I don't know, but it's like hand drawn, and you just see like
put it in the show notes.
They're thinking and doing. Yeah, show notes. There you go. Show notes.
Well, speaking of show notes, there's a couple of things I would like to definitely talk about. Is like one, it's Brian's name, like Brian Stout. Like we've all got some cool aliases on Discord. We need to give Brian his initiation to a Discord name. So definitely in the notes below, comment.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You're asking the community to name it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What can we call him? Like, you know, it can't be BS because it's way too close to BBS and something else. But
I got the BS quite a bit growing up. So
make sure you have the B on there and not just the BS.
Your name is Phil, like BBS.
Yeah, so my name is Phil. It's Blackbird Spider.
Wait a minute, I wasn't supposed to reveal that. Sorry, you know.
Blackbird Spider. Blackbird is a raven. The spider is, you know, just something that I just really love. And you'll see that throughout, like I create a little bit, you'll see some of that. But so BBS is just short. And so there's so many people that are called BBS or they use that name, it doesn't matter.
But they don't have that cool spider graphic of the BBS that you have right there in your name like that. That is unique and only you. So now how did you get the Fluffinator? Like we heard your story about the Lord L, but the Fluffinator, like that.
Well, I think there's probably another backstory that we're definitely gonna have to ask Frank and Christa and on the back end. But I'm just piecing it together, and I think it's obviously jumping in spaces all the time, and you know when you rug out, you know you get the robot voice apparently, right? So apparently I rug out a lot. I don't know if it's just Australia.
You haven't once this time though. So.
I know, which is awesome. And in the last couple of months,
I don't know.
And then this one time I was in a space and I was live, and Frank and Christa, I definitely remember Christa because Christa is the one that brought it up to me, and she said, as I was talking about doing a Twitter picker, and as I said Twitter picker, I roboted off, and I was like Twitter picker, and then but then on, like if you say it to Christa, she'll lose it. She loves it. Like it was just a thing. Then I had DMs like, hey, what's going on? Because they were like, did you just fall off a cliff? Like what the hell is like the way it was like, and I think that's where it comes as well. And because you know how loving they are and how we you know ingested into the community, they really wanted to give me like a little title that you know proper fitted who I was, you know, in the team as well. And I think that's where they were like, all right, well, he robots a lot. How else can we do this? Like it's the Fluffle, all right, and then there's like a Terminator, like the robot Fluffinator, and that's where I think that's where like you know putting it together to come from.
We'll get it get it confirmed when they come on the show. Like that's for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, like I'm a self-proclaimed completionist. I didn't know what a completionist was until John from Food Fight was telling me. He's like, yeah, you're basically a completionist. I was like, what's a completionist? And he's like somebody that has to like get their collection, like one of everything. I was like, yeah, that's kind of me. Like I, not originally on purpose. Originally, I was like, I'll buy a couple of them. I'll see what it's all about. Like my first one was just because like I got in and I was like, ooh, I like that. Like it looks really cool. I think I'll buy one of those. And then like, you really need the full experience. So they're like, we're going to help you get a Spartan and this and that. Like, so they helped me put together like a package, and that's how I got kind of indoctrinated. And then I was like, well, doesn't that Spartan now need like, a light dragon and, a samurai general, and so, yeah, we got like, I started buying a whole bunch of things, and then the light dragons was like, whew, I started investing in light dragons. Like that was fun. That was a lot of fun. So yes, I'm a completionist by my own admission. No one has given me that name. And yes, I'm awkward in the Discord server because like everybody else has these cool names. And I'm like, hello, I'm Brian, but I will have a name.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I'll have a name coming in the future. I'm sure like long-term, like I'm sure like you guys can put in down in the notes what you think. Somebody in one of the rumbles somehow knew what one of my nicknames was as a kid, because they said, I'm a little teapot, Brian Stout. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like they used to call me Teapot when I was a kid because, that nursery rhyme. So yeah, it's, I see we've got something to add to the stream. Is this one of the drawings? Yeah. Very cool.
Ooh,
like this is that hand drawing they were talking about with the samurai general.
Yeah.
Oh, so nice.
And actually seeing it done like this, it opened your eyes, because when you think of hand-drawn art, you go, okay, cool, man, it's hand-drawn. But, like, look at this. Like, this is hand-drawn. Like, you seriously, you can't say...
he does the coloring and everything. Yeah, like, I mean, like, Frank does everything. Like when you watch him draw and stuff like that, like, he's going from the model to the... to actually doing all the dimensions and coloring and everything. Like,
and he's got the one, sorry to cut you off, but just while we're here on the screen, it's like, this is, you see the end result, but he does left, right, top, bottom, like all different scenarios. So it's like, it's not just the one picture he's drawn. He's actually like making a character. He's actually making something.
And full body too, might I add. Like, so I was a graphic designer for about 15 years. And in this space, you see a lot of like half body or just face, or I mean, he's doing the full thing and the background. The backgrounds, if you've seen any of his backgrounds, they're just.
We got one right behind us.
I want
tonight.
all the backgrounds.
Yeah,
I want all of them.
yeah. No, the backgrounds are awesome. We've got Imaginic Falls right behind us, right, with the screen right now, and this is like that tainted Scyther type of look, like for Gen 2. And I know that like this is probably just a night drawing, but it's so cool.
I have the
like,
Mystic Myrrh as a computer pad. I won it through the Scyther games.
Oh,
like
sweet.
I show you if my computer wasn't on it, but it's about this big and it's beautiful. I just stare at it. I just like, wow, this is amazing. Like I want all the backgrounds. All.
They're so cool. Like which one of the Mystic Myrrhs? Like is it the green?
Yeah, it's like a dark green, like a night. It's just
Does
beautiful.
it look like this? Do you see our background?
Yeah, it's more of like a duck, and I don't know if it's Mystic Myrrh. Or...
Oh no, you're right. Let's see, because I downloaded a whole bunch of the graphics, because that's the cool thing too. They do a whole bunch of like stuff that we can use for our own use, posting and stuff like that. So, I know what you're talking about. This is like with the boat and stuff. I don't have that. Yeah. But yeah, no, that
I was gonna say, if you have that digitally, I'll take that. I'll put that on the computer too.
No. Like, well, that's what they do is like they put it up in the Discord channel, like their art, like for the backgrounds. Now, these are all the backgrounds that they used with some of the light dragons. So, they made it downloadable for us as a community so that we can go out and like co-create and make some cool stuff. And I was like, I'm going to grab them all for our show, because you never know, like we'll just switch it up. Sometimes we'll have this background this time, and then maybe next time we want to go into the Forest of Delirium, and put something up like that. So yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah,
like the art is so cool. Like I follow a bunch of comic book artists on Instagram. You guys probably, follow some artists too and stuff like that. And they just like watching them do that. And then, I know that, Frank and Christa, when they're drawing, like they're doing the exact same thing. Like Christa was doing a watercolor for Brando and his family recently of some cats. Like he won a raffle. That was so awesome. And so quick. She's like just doing this stuff. And I was like, I can appreciate the arts so much because I know how much work it goes into it, but it just looked effortless. She was just like quickly painting. She was talking how she was doing it and stuff like that. And there was a bunch of stuff going on in the chat. Everybody was chatting and stuff. It was cool. Like, that stuff is, not stuff I've seen in other projects, like seeing them create, seeing them do these things right in front of you. Like we do that Friday drink and draw where basically it's just drawing. Everybody shows up and Frank draws and we watch him drawing the next version of the dragons. And that's really cool.
I think that's one thing good to showcase too, is like, they're in Discord and you get to see this personally, and then having to see this personally, like it just adds that extra element. Having like they're literally drinking and drawing, like you said, we watched them paint Brando's painting. Like that's like that is crazy. You get the inside scoop to see what exactly is going on. Like hand drawn, it isn't just like something that they whip up in 5 minutes, like you said, not taking away from the AI, where the AI can whip up something crazy in 2 seconds. But it's like, I think that's where it comes down to it. It's hand drawn, layer by layer, and you get to actually see it in motion.
Yeah. And he was doing one for Aaron, like a custom drawing that Aaron had earned through his just the love and like collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
the light dragons, or I think it was a light dragon.
Was it a light dragon thing where he'd earned he'd gotten so many light dragons that he'd earned a custom drawing, and it's like he's like taking advice from people, oh, should we move this back and forth, and like it is just so cool.
And Aaron saying, no, don't move it back and forth.
Yeah, he's like, no, I like that perspective. I want this or I want that and stuff like that. So
no, I think that's great to take it. To have a voice anywhere is amazing, and then but to have like them just say, okay, yeah, I'll do that, and then actually do it. That's just a testament to them. Yeah,
they're listening to the community for sure. Like I can't wait to like bring on some of the guests from the community, like talk to Miss Firefly. Like she's in that book behind you, BBS, and like talk to her about like her character, and like she's done some co-creation, like written in the grimoire, I think am I pronouncing that correctly? It's like the animals.
She's very creative too. Yeah, she's very creative.
Yeah, so she she's written like a story.
Well. Yeah. She's a massive part of the bunnies, massive, and everything that if she says something, we all listen, even though like she's got no title next to her name being staff or nothing. But if Miss Firefly says something, we're like, no worries, because her heart's in it and she's a genuine person. So it's like when she says something, she's not doing it for herself gain, she's doing it for everyone and for everything. So it's and I think that's what the community is built up with, hundreds of these people. And that's the thing which is hard to explain to people, is like, people will bat in our corner and there's hundreds of them and they're all lovely, all from different walks, all from different countries, different time zones, doesn't matter. But it's just like, I think that's what we're creating here more than anything, is a massive family, that goes alongside this IP franchise, this lore, this story, this world. Like it's crazy. I get too flustered at times when I talk about them because I'm a fanboy. Like I've been here from day one, and I've tried to lap up everything I physically could financially when I could afford it. So I just whatever I could, because I know it's nothing to do with what's going to be valued later. It's just because I love it. Like I want to keep it. I want to protect it. I want to hold it. Like it's like I said, like I'm buying this stuff in. Like I got to buy this one off
I know. It's like.
I find that like you want to hold it. This is my latest thing. I can hold.
Wow, that's awesome. Great color.
This is going to be one of the dark dragons. We obviously know that because it's one of the evil dark dragons that we should be seeing coming out of those eggs soon. But they showed up on the store, and I was like, I got to get one of those pillows before they actually start hatching. Because I mean, that's the cool thing is like they turn their art into pillows, and they want to do those plushies, and it's not just the trading card game, or it's not just the digital stuff. There's like so many different ways.
It's going to be, there isn't ain't no wants, it's gonna happen. We know.
Like it's on their vision board or their roadmap that we can't see because they've got to do certain steps. They've got to get to a certain level with the book before they can make the movie, before they can do the theme park, before they can, create their own streaming service and add a plus to it and be Battle Bunnies Plus TV.
I think that's why having to grow it and build it so much is it gives them more time to do that stuff on the back end for us. Like the TCG, the book, all like community written, and the TCG's community members. Like right now, Creature and Old Man Game are probably in there, and they're almost in there every single week. And Creature obviously is the creator almost of a sub.
And just like the minds involved with just between those two alone, creating this game and like finessing it the way it should be. Like it's just gonna be unbelievable. It's already unbelievable, but they're continuing to like fine tune this game and just oh my god.
Well, in a couple,
and then like
I use some real
TCG games. Like honestly, I don't play TCG games. I stole one of the kids. Like you guys recognize what one of these things are. He's rugging on us.
We'll have to
we jinxed him.
No,
but like to think that just in a few weeks, like my kids play Pokemon. That's huge DC. So they're gonna be
Magic the Gathering, and I work for the company that produced that.
I don't know. Should we let him back in? I don't know. He rugged us.
We should definitely let him back in.
Hopefully true to form.
Should I remove? Should I remove the other version of you?
Twitter picker.
I think we.
Twitter
picker.
Guy.
Yeah, that's one of the other versions.
Currently now on the fair with the camera, I guess. But
there you go. That works.
Switch to like, is it my turn? I'll drop off and we can rotate.
Maybe it was just a stunt. Maybe they wanted to because like I guess I'm the rugger, so maybe that's what I was going for. Maybe.
The rugger.
The Fluffinator, I should have said. Chris is probably going to shake her head right now at this and be like, that'd be right. I'm not going to hear about it I'll hear about it for the rest of the week. Well, to be honest, I'll hear about it for the rest of my life, but it's all good.
Nice. Well, I know we could talk a lot and just keep going and going and going. We don't want to exhaust our viewers because we've got so much more to bring to them. Like this is the plan. I mean, quite honestly, like I was thinking through, like there are so many members in our community. Like we could do this weekly for 3 years and not get to everybody that's a passionate and active member, in the Spartan Holder Series 1, like the new Gen 2 stuff. Like we will have plenty of opportunities to talk and share about the bunnies and that kind of stuff. Is there anything you guys want to cover before, because I just, I want to be respectful of our viewers. If we've talked to, plus Luke's already starting to, he's no longer, Lord L, the Fluffinator. He's Lukey G, Lord L, the Fluffinator. So he's already evolved on us. Like,
I think you're right there. Like you said, we could talk all day about the bunnies. We could talk all day about how much we love them. We could talk all day about their utility. We could talk all day about each individual community member. So I think it's more of, what everyone else wants when they're listening, what they want to hear more of. But I definitely, want to try and captivate and I guess bring some more people up to give their perspective of, because I know they were feeling exactly the same as me. And from day one, I'm excited. I want to spread the love, and I want to make sure everyone can hear different point of views on getting their interpretations of it, because, this space affects us all in different ways. We all like Frank and Christa for a different reason. We all like the project for a different reason. And, so I think, like you said, we'll speak all day about it, and especially us three up here, just laughing, smiling, and BBS with his constant smile. Like it's just a smile from me. Oh, sorry, I should say Phil, because then people are going to be like, who the hell's Phil? That's BBS.
Call me whatever, it doesn't matter. I go a lot of names. Yeah, so to tie it all together, it's like it's the art, it's the founders, it's the community members. Like, I have a whole list of community members that, there's mental notes that just go off, like Frost, Clopping, and Nikki and Aaron and Disco. Those are the folks that I just gelled with for a year before I even got to the Fluffle. And so I see them and I just light up. I see mostly everybody that I see that pops in, I'm just like, oh, I could just sit here and hang out with you, but I have to work or do something. I can't chat with you all day, but I'd love to. I feel like it's just that with everybody. Everybody's equal, and even the new folks that come on, I feel like they just quickly get on, and then they're just within a week, it's oh yeah, you guys everybody's equal. It's great.
Yeah, we've had lots of new members come in, people like me, just quickly embraced by the community. You guys welcomed me in, and I quickly got addicted to the rabbit hole game, and
well, just saying that, right, Brian, is say that, Brian, is this whole space right now, us three up here right now, is all to you wanting to do this, and there's no financial gain from the bunnies. There's no nothing. It's literally just three fans wanting to talk about something that we're all a part of. And I think that is testament alone. Who would have thought I'd be on a webcam, talking about the Battle Bunnies 2 years ago, or even last week, I wouldn't even have thought about it. But the fact, it just shows that the love of the community, the love of us is we're up here right now, just talking about them, and this space, obviously this first one was our pilot. So it's a little bit off topic. There's not really much. It's just more of, I guess everyone getting to know us a little bit more. And there's going to be so much more to listen and learn about the bunnies in this space moving forward. From us, from the community members, from Frank and Christa themselves, which is going to be exciting, and from other project leaders, obviously Aaron being a community member, but he's got his own project too. So it's going to be good to see, and hear about the collaborations and his view on it, and how because I know he'll have the same kind of feel as all of us, as community and as love. But it's there's going to be another level of communication between the back ends, between those two founders, and I'm very interested to dive deep and ask him some gritty questions, and to see if we can get any alpha out of him that maybe Frank and Chris have released to him, or because it's going to be awesome, man, and so glad to be a part of this. I say it all the time. 100%. You hear me say it every single day, and I'll say I'm so glad to be a part of it. I'm so glad representing, and it's true, man. That's why we're here. We're all smile from ear to ear. This whole space. We had this Brian sent us this little Google Doc of what we were going to talk about I don't think we even looked at it. I don't think we even mentioned anything on it.
I did look at it. I was like, oh, those are really good questions.
It was really terrible. Oh my God.
Because we kind of just jumped up here and flowed, and we just spoke about our feelings and what we've happened in this space. So I think we've definitely got a lot to touch on.
You mean you don't want to talk about if you were a Battle Bunny character for a day? Which one would you be?
Oh, I would. Man,
30-minute pitch. I could do that.
I don't know if I'd be like cliche, but I want to be like the Samurai General, or I would like maybe the Joker collab from DPS. I know it's not in the collection, but it's like, I don't know. Like it's like legit. I'm actually probably going to think about it now for next week because. Oh man, I don't know. Like I don't think you can ask that question because I want to be everything. I want to, maybe myself from like my insert in the next novel. That's maybe who I'd probably want to be. You go, because that's what I'm gonna be naming my Lord L Bunny, and I'm gonna create a backstory for him, and we're gonna interject that hopefully into the next novel, if not the novel after that. So I'd say probably if it's not the Joker, it'll be myself because we are the community, we are the Battle Bunnies, and we are. We are. We
are. That's for sure. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
I would say Spartan inside. Spartan inside, Hooligan outside. Just like, I'm ready to go, but I got a pen.
You're going to be a Viking forever now, BBS, unfortunately. Yeah, sorry, the mug says it.
I'm crossing out myself. I got a pen here.
The mug never lies.
I secretly want to be dark matter. That now I think for me, like something like that would be like my character, the name Kamara, the dragon. She's just so cool, like so beautiful, like. But she's mysterious and cunning. I wrote a backstory that hasn't been shared yet, but yeah, no, she's from the Forest of Delirium, and that's part of her backstory, and she's one of the elders, like one of the surviving elders. So,
it fits you, Brian. It fits you.
The lore. Yeah,
talk about your grey hair. Yeah. So it definitely fits the right character there.
I'm definitely an elder. I'm not a she. I'm mysterious though, but yeah, I don't know.
You just said you'd like to be that character, so I don't know. Yeah. It's 2023. It's 2023 now. All right, we can be who we want to be, and Brian wants to be a dragon in the Battle Bunnies. So let's go.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Well, all right. Let's closing thoughts, guys, or anything, or let's just.
No, otherwise, like last time, we'll go on to another tangent. So we have to either.
Yeah, we'll just stop in the mid tangent.
This is where we edit. Like hit the post roll show. Run Twitter pica. I love the the Smartless podcast where the guys look for a way to say the word bye or thing. Bye. At the end, and that's how they end it, kind of thing. Like we'll have to find our thing. Like that's
you just found today's one. Okay, it's from them. Bye.
Twitter pica.
Bye.
All right, end the recording. And the good news is, thank you for joining us today, Ultimate Fan. BBS, Lord L, and Brian, that's me, do hope you enjoyed today's program as much as we did, where ultimate fans like you are the stars of the show. We'd be honored to have you join us on a future episode where you can share your story and love of the Battle Bunnies with this encouraging community. It would be the greatest compliment if you shared something you love about the Battle Bunnies on your favorite social platform today, like X, Facebook, or Instagram, and tagged us. Or simply use hashtag #UltimateFancast so we can recognize and celebrate with you and other super fans by sharing your post. Bonus points if you do both and use an image of one of your favorite Battle Bunnies or a screenshot of this episode. We know you share, like, and comment because you care about our fellow Ultimate fans as much as we do. Please leave comments too to let us know how we can make this the greatest fan experience for the Battle Bunnies community. This podcast is sponsored by Hairstream Media, your bunnies all the time streaming service. Okay, not really. It is just us fans like you giving some of our time to support other fans like you. Join us over in the Battle Bunnies community and Discord to continue the fun. We hope you tune in with us each week. So make it easy. Subscribe now. We'll be here to keep you hopping when you need us.